Welcome back to Society Case Files. My name is Robert, and today I thought I'd do a little bit of shameless self-promotion. Yes, I'm going to talk about my work. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Otherwise, I'm going to dive right in. So lately, I've been working pretty hard on several projects, the most recent of which is Malevolence Season 3, Chapter 6 of the comic. This is now available on my Patreon, and it is probably the longest one of the season so far. It's 34 pages long, and it was a lot of fun to make, but it did take quite a bit of time. Pretty much the entire month of May, I worked on it on and off here and there until I got it all done. It literally just got finished this morning as of filming this video, and I posted it on Patreon right away, so it is there for folks to check out. Now, the way I release this on Tapastic is basically the comic comes out a page on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sunday. So at this rate, we're currently about to start Chapter 5, so Chapter 6 will finish sometime in October. And they're also censored because Tapastic is a little bit puritanical. And so because they're on the iOS platform, there can't be certain things like nudity or excessive violence, that sort of thing. It has to be censored. And the stuff on Patreon is not censored. So that's probably the best way to see it. Eventually, it's all available to buy digitally as well as physically through Kablam. They also don't worry too much about the censorship, which is really nice. But that was something that I did most recently. It was a lot of fun, but again, tons of work. Now, at the exact same time, I was working on the next book in the Curse of Carter's Grove series, which is book 17. So each of these books is 20,000 words. My idea was to make several novellas. Now, unfortunately, I started this when novellas were literally right on the verge of dropping off the face of the earth. For a while there was even an outlet on Amazon to release them, but that's been retired since then, and people have made it quite clear that they would not like to have 20,000 word books released. They'd rather see 60,000 word books released. So what I have decided to do now is finish this overall story arc, which is quite huge, and then I will release them. First, I'm going to do the first 4 books. So that'll be an 80,000 word book. And then I'm going to release 3 at a time until it's all done. And that way there's plenty. There's a lot of meat and it's not over quite so quick. These days, people read like locusts. I mean, they can consume material super, super fast. Even like people I know who weren't fast readers before are tearing through stuff these days. And they're always on the hunt for more. I can write very, very, very fast, but I'd get burned out if I tried to keep up with some of them. So even though I generally do at least 1 or 2 of these books a month to keep up with my own beta readers checking them out, I still am slower than most people can consume this stuff. So anyway, at the end of this project, it'll be around 400,000 words of Carter's Grove. And then at that point, I can decide what I want to do next. I have a few ideas, but I'm not ready to commit to them. But just to mention what Carter's Grove is about, it's basically a made-up town in the Pacific Northwest where this family started it up as a logging town way back in the 1900s, and one of them was a vampire. It's got a very Dark Shadows vibe to it. It's a small town. There's all kinds of creepy stuff going on. There's witches, there's monsters, there's a murder mystery, and it's got a little bit of Twin Peaks in it as well. So the first book is available online, and we are going to take that down so that we can release it along with its other 3 books very soon. But right now, that's what's going on with that. The next thing I want to talk about is another book that I'm working on called For a Song. Now, this is a standalone novel that is based on my Glamour and Shadow series. One of the main characters, who is a fairy named Ophelia Dupree, is going to get into an adventure. Now, that book's about halfway done, and I've been working on it on and off. For a little while there, I was like not so sure about it, but then I got very inspired to finish it. So I'm very excited about that. It's going to have a little bit of a Jack Reacher vibe in some ways, not quite as crazy violent, but that one character gets into a mess sort of situation. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one to fruition. It should be a lot of fun. I finished a book called Everything in Between about a young woman who finds out that her grandmother is the angel of death and that she has to take over for her. So that one is pretty intense. It's probably the harshest thing I've ever written, just in the emotional sense. It actually messed with me while I did it, but I thought it was a really important book to do. So that one is actually done, and I'm just doing some edits on it. So I hope to release that here in the near future. It'll definitely be on the Patreon. And speaking of the Patreon, I have several books going on the Patreon. The Curse of Carter's Grove is being released. Every few chapters are being put up there. The Cat Who Bit the Demon, which is a sequel to one of my books, that's up there. There's a whole bunch of stuff. So if you're interested, it's a very inexpensive membership, and there is an absolute ton of material, including my audio dramas, which we're going to get to now. I have just finished recording the last bits for my next audio drama, which is basically set in the world of Malevolence, and it's about a guardian who is a detective. And my idea behind this was to sort of replicate that feel of the old Forever Night show, where you just get one mystery in a 45-minute period. In this case, it's about an hour long. But that's kind of the concept of what I was going for here. It's super fun. It was a lot of fun to record. And that one will be available hopefully here in the next few weeks. Definitely sometime in June. So I think that's about all I can talk about right now. I mean, there's so much stuff I'm doing. I got music projects going. I've got other books going. I'm doing some ghostwriting. It's absolute madness. So those are the ones that are the closest to being available for someone to see, and definitely the best when it comes to getting them out there and showing them off. But anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today. There's links in the description to look up some of this stuff, the ones that are available, the ones that are about to come available, you can keep an eye out for. But that's it for today. This is Robert with Society Case Files, signing off.